Hey everyone, I'm Scott Stokely, and getting snap on your backhand is basically binary. What I mean by this is you almost always have snap or you don't have snap. Rarely do you get a little bit of snap. Understanding why this is the case is one of the keys to learning how to get snap every single time. So remember, snap is effectively the cracking of the whip. But if you watch my previous videos, you'll know that the handle of the whip is not your shoulder. The handle of the whip is your plant foot. The whip begins at the plant foot, it travels up the leg, your hips, head, and shoulders are the middle of the whip travels down the arm, and your fingertips are the tip of the whip. Now, in order for a whip to crack, the end of the whip, in this case your fingertips, have to be traveling faster than any other part of the whip. This means your fingertips must be traveling faster than your wrist. Now, when this occurs, you can actually hear it because your fingertips are traveling so fast through space, it makes an audible sound as they pass through the air. So listen to this sound right here. Okay, that sound is the sound of the fingertips going so fast through the air that you can hear it. That is not caused by how fast my wrist is going. And I can prove it because if I make a fist and lock my wrist in place, okay, you basically don't hear it. The wrist isn't going fast enough to make the sound, only my fingertips are. Now, why do I say this is binary? Well, your wrist has a very narrow range of motion. Let's say, for example, I was going to throw my shot perfectly parallel to the ground, and I put my forearm right here. Well, if my forearm's right here, my wrist has a full range of motion parallel to the ground because my forearm's in the right position. Now, let's say I rotate my forearm just a little bit, turn the palm down. At this point right here, my wrist no longer can move parallel to the ground. It can move up and down because I put my wrist in this position, but I wasn't trying to throw up in this example, and I certainly wasn't trying to put the nose up parallel to the ground. So in order for my fingertips to be traveling faster than my hand, my forearm needs to be in this position. At this point right here, the fingertips can accelerate, the whip can crack. Now I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to throw my Peregrine here. I'm going to throw it really soft. This is actually meant for high-speed throws. It's an overstable high-speed driver. But I'm going to throw this to demonstrate because without any arm speed at all, you're going to hear an audible sound caused by how much faster this part of my hand and an extension, the disc, is traveling through space relative to my wrist. So without any effort at all, listen to this sound. Okay, that is the sound of snap. Now, snap isn't just audible. Snap is about your fingertips traveling faster than your wrist, but it typically causes an audible thump. So how do you learn to do this? Okay, it's actually quite simple. Not easy, but quite simple. Hold your hand up in the air. Keep your thumb basically on the upside of your hand. Pull it across your body, allowing your wrist to remain loose. When you do this, it probably doesn't make a sound. Keep trying. Now, don't hurt your shoulder. If you're not pulling a weight, you can put a lot of strain on this joint right here. Okay, be careful, especially my older crowd, but pull it across your body. After a little while, you'll notice that when you put your hand in the right position, which is typically the thumb up, and you don't swivel your forearm at any point during the pull, and that you follow through with your thumb up, all of a sudden, you hear this audible sound. Had you thrown a disc with your hand and forearm in that position, you will have snap. If your hand is in a different position, you don't have snap. Now, there's way more to the mechanics of throwing than that. Check out my 6-month online Become a Complete Disc Golfer course at scottstokely.net, or I got seminars all over the country coming up. Get on my mailing list. If you don't see one near you, you'll be first to be notified when I'm coming to your state. But barring all that, simply learning how to do this and then throwing with your forearm in this position without swiveling will give you snap.